Hiya, it's Friday 24th of October. Back in the van. It's raining outside. It's been a couple of weeks really since I've done anything in terms of work on the van. Last weekend the van went on a trip to Ireland on a ferry, and the reason for that was so that we could pick up some stuff from Myra's mum's house whilst the van was still a shell. Since then, the van has been in the garage just before we went to Ireland, in fact, to get some work done on the brakes and the tyres, which I knew needed to be done. And since that time, and having come back from Ireland, we were only there 48 hours, we have had the seats fitted. Let me just turn the camera around so you can see that. Okay, so as it's raining outside, it is a bit of a building site in here, but basically these two seats here, which were a replacement for the original seats that I had bought, have been fitted. They are now bolted through the floor, cut holes in the floor, and they've been bolted to the van. That wasn't a job I could do myself. That's been done by my friend Mark Alexander at his garage. And so much appreciation for that. And so those are now in place. So today's job is we are trying to see if we can build the structure for the bathroom. And that is the plan for today. It's about 11 o'clock now on Friday, having had a very busy week in work. I'm taking a few hours out and doing a little bit of work on the van. So what I have done is I've just tidied up the insulation on the bottom of the van over in this part here, because I'm going to be covering that up using this stuff here, which is 5mm sticky backed insulation. It was basically the cheapest I could purchase. It's really just a tidying up exercise. I've already got insulation behind that. And I've been putting some struts following the line of the van and actual holes that were already in the van's structure, and using a riveting tool to get those into position. And now I've put the first upward piece for the toilet and shower room, and over in this direction here we've got the shower tray that we're going to be using. So what I thought is I would get one of the positional pieces into position first, and then once I've done that I will work towards being able to fit then the shower tray in position. I need to do a little bit of cutting in because of this bit that's sticking out here, which is a bit of a pest, but I don't want to lose a lot of centimeters, so I'm going to try and build around that rather than waste what I have, and we're going to work from there basically. So okay, so with the jigsaw and some wood attached to strengthen the plastic, I've cut some little notches into the shower tray here so that it can fit into the section where I want it to go. Now what I need to do is I need to build up some wood underneath, and also I'm going to have to cut the hole here, which I've just realized I haven't checked underneath the van to check where that's going to come out, so I should have done that earlier on. I'm going to have a little look now and see where that leads to. Okay, so we are now in the process of fitting the shower. Just heard my cat on the roof of my van and he's just jumped off. So I've made a track in the floorboards of the van. I bought myself a very low profile shower outlet, and basically this is going to sit in here like this, and then this tube is going to go down into the floor of the van and out the bottom of the van. I needed to move a little bit further inwards to make sure that I was only going through one layer of van, I now need to get the right dimensions for this to make a round hole in the floor so that this can go through and come out the other side. Okay, so this is where my circular drill bits are going to come into play. I'm going to be drilling a hole through the base of the van, and hopefully it's going to come out the right side. I'm just going to go outside and double check everything first. I'm going to make a little pilot hole to check that I'm in the right place. Okay, so I've made a little pilot hole and gone outside to double check there's nothing anywhere near it when I make my bigger hole, and it's a good safe place to drill. So the key when making these kind of holes appears to be just slow and steady. Don't try and push too hard, otherwise it just jams up the mechanism, but just try and keep it gentle and turning, and use two hands, of course, which I can't do. Okay, so as you can see, there's some gaps here now. We're just trying to keep going slowly but surely, and eventually this will drop out. So with a little bit of patience, we now have our hole through the floor, through which my pipe will go. Okay, so we've added a bit of primer and protection for the metal protecting paint to make sure it doesn't rust to the metal. And now we're going to try and fit the shower unit to the shower tray, but I've also got to make a hole in the shower tray to do that. Okay, so next job is cutting out this hole here. My hole is slightly bigger than that particular recess. I don't think that should cause me any particular problems. The slight issue is because the weather is so bad today, I'm having to do all of these jobs inside of the van, which makes for a very cramped situation. I put some wood underneath to give it some stability, and I'm going to be using the big drill bit again. This is the 100mm one, but my aperture is 110 and can go down to about 95, so it's fine, should work okay. Okay, that was perfect. So I've got my hole now. I just need to connect up the bits and then make sure that everything is in the right position before I run the tube through the floor behind here and start to seal it all up. And this is the frame sitting on top, giving it the stability on the sides and the back and over on that side there. So when we stand through on it, we don't go through it. This is resting on the floor of the van pretty much, and so that shouldn't be an issue there at all. Okay, I think we are there in terms of the fittings of the shower waste. Those two little things just drop into position over the top of the thing, so they're not too complicated at all. One thing I want to do is I need to actually fix the shower tray itself to the structure that I built underneath. I'm not 100% sure how I'm going to do this, but I think I'm going to stick it down with the Sikaflex. That should do it okay. If not, I can always screw some screws around the edges, because this frame here, as you can see, is built in slightly, and so we're going to lose a little bit of the edge there. Okay, so I decided that I needed a moment of truth testing. I've got it linked so that it will run out of the van onto the floor outside, but what I need to test is that it's not pouring out and pooling inside the van. So here goes. I've got a saucepan of water here, and I'm going to pour some in, and you can watch and see if it works. Let's have a little look, shall we?
Okay, 1 saucepan of water. Can't see, that's not water, that's just plastic. I can't see anything running out yet, but I'm going to have a little look underneath and I'll let you know how we get on. Okay, so that's it for today. Haven't quite got as far as I'd hoped, but that's okay, because all of this is a learning curve for me. And I think I'm pretty happy now with the structure that I built. I'm going to build some walls around it, and that will not be probably now till the end of next week, as I've got a very busy day tomorrow on Sunday, and that's the plan. But let me just show you where we are so far. So we have a back structure in place now. This thicker bits of wood here is where the mixer shower will be. Then we're going to build walls around the unit itself, and then the shower will be enclosed. I still have to work out what to do with the door. We did buy a second-hand sort of drop-down sink unit thing, but it just really doesn't fit now with what we decided, so I'm going to get rid of that. And go for a smaller sink. So basically what will happen is you stand in the shower for the shower, obviously, and you also will have a sink on effectively where my finger is pointed now, on the wall by there. And I will probably have a wastewater standing underneath it. So that's my plan at the moment. And then you can access it from the front here. The wastewater for the shower will go out of the van to the floor into a wastewater container, but the sink will be used more than the shower. So that's the plan at the moment. I think I'm now happy with what I've got in place. I just need to work on the frame around it and work from there.